Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. King Z and I just finished up watching Mortal Kombat 2, not Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Slow down, Mortal Kombat 2 2026. And we're going to get into some thoughts. King Z is going to be good enough to splice in our spoiler warning, the woo, because you can't really talk about Mortal Kombat without getting away some of the goods. So, as I was saying to you earlier, dude, I have seen this twice in 2 days. It's not because I'm a super fan or anything. It's because the first time I saw it, and this is why I was asking you about the format you were checking into today. I saw it in X Plus. That's our premium format up here at like Regal Theaters, right? Dude, the sound mix was so bad, so overpoweringly droning, booming, loud, like Dune, but for 2 hours that I heard maybe 15% of the dialogue. Maybe.
Okay.
Dude, it was so bad that even in the 3 or 4 quiet scenes they had, I mean, like the very beginning with young Katana with her dad when he gives her the medallion, no idea what that man said. No clue, right? Anytime Shao Kahn opened his mouth to talk, because he's got that very deep, rumbling Shao Kahn voice, no dialogue that I hear from that character all movie long. So yesterday after work, I dipped over to the movies again, but I went into a standard theater, not the X Plus, just regular. Perfect. Flawless, you could say. And not that you need a whole lot of dialogue or, in your Mortal Kombat movie. It's not
But you like to understand what's going on. You want to hear what they're saying.
Visually, you can see what's going on, but you'd like the intricacies. Dude, I wanted to be able to hear Karl Urban as Johnny Cage. I wanted to hear Kano, because those are driving factors that brought me back to this movie. I was stoked when I heard Kano was coming back. Like, he carried the first film with Cabal for humor. You know? So I've seen this twice. And I will say that my initial score for the movie went up a couple of points, 1.5, based on actually being able to hear the story. So I'll go from there. But as we usually do, let's give you first thoughts. What did you think of Mortal Kombat 2 2026?
This is a summer movie, 100%. This is the movie you go to see. You grab your popcorn, you forget about everything, and you just enjoy the ride they're about to take you on. That is what this movie is. It is not cinematic. Well, I mean by cinema, it doesn't have a deep story that you have to, really dive into. There is no homework with this. You can jump in on this movie and completely understand what's going on. And you just, eat your popcorn, eat your hot dog if that's your thing, drink your little pop, and you guys are going to be great.
Did someone say popcorn? They got me, dude. They got me. I walked in, they had like 4 of them on top of the register, and I was already feeling like like they're going to be sold out in like the next 5 seconds. They did not have any of the Shao Kahn helmet ones. Gone already by like Friday night at like 6 when I got over there, or when I walked out.
So those were actually at my theater last week when I went to go see Holcomb last week. They had them there. I pointed them out to the wife, and I was like, "Yeah, here they are. Here's the helmet one. Here's the green one, the cups." And then when I came this week, the shelves were empty. The movie posters gone.
Yeah, I don't think my theater got the posters at all. They had the cups, right?
Yeah, we had the cups. That was the only thing they had left.
Update our info. We thought that the cups were packaged with the bucket, because I remember we were like, $49 with the cups is a great deal for 2 cups. Nah, bro, it was $49 for the bucket. It did come with popcorn. I've never bought one of these.
$49 where you're at?
Yes,
that's only $39 down here.
Wait. It might have been 39. I might be wrong.
It was $49 for the Shao Kahn.
You're right. It was 39, and I bought a drink in there for $10. That's the bill was 49. You're right. The bucket was 39. I was running late. I didn't have time to do my usual sneaky sneak. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just saying it's ridiculous, because we went earlier today, and we got a popcorn, a hot dog, and some candy. 2020.
That's getting crazy. Look at that though. Yeah, like the Cage side, Shao side. Whatever the fuck. Oh, it's a fan. That's what it is.
Yep, Katana's it's a fan. It's a Katana's fan, yeah. Given to her by Jade.
Yeah, which is not at all lore, but anyway. So one of the things one of the things you said a minute ago is this is a great entry point because you can instantly follow it. And I agree with you 100%. Like, we're combat kids. We were going to get Easter eggs out of the lore and recognize the sites and all this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I think your average action movie, martial arts movie fan is going to jump in and just know good guys, bad guys. This one becomes a good guy. This one sells this one out. Bam, done, over. I don't get people that I've seen online in like comment sections and on like Rotten Tomatoes dropping the opposite criticism though and saying you need to play 15 games going back to 93 to know who these people are. Like, the only thing I feel like people might have missed out on is the Scorpion noob stuff. Like, there's a little bit of lore and backstory there that they directly hit on in the first movie to set it up for everything. And
but
then
I think they gave just enough
of course,
flashback.
They showed the murder.
They showed it, yeah. So I think that understands it all.
Yeah, dude, they're a bunch of simple assholes out there that couldn't keep up with the Mortal Kombat movie. That sounds like a you problem. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a you problem.
Not a fan problem.
That's why you should come to the Kingmakers and watch our review, because we're going to give you the down and dirty. We'll give it to you honest.
Yeah, dude, that's why we're gonna go ahead and do King Z's editing magic and cut in the whole big thing that I wanted to talk about Cole.
Oh, your boy got his head smashed. I just won't get into that. He was a little bit cooler in this one, though.
Yeah. Dude, the minute he showed up and had that first grandiose ass speech about how important what they were doing was, I was like, oh, he's toast. Thank you, New Line. You got the memo. Dude, honestly, I feel bad for the guy. I really do. He's a pretty good martial artist. I heard other people mentioning other stuff he's been in that I've never seen. Like, the dude can move and do the work. And he seemed like a good guy handling like the backlash of the character. Like, it's not that thing from like Star Wars where people are like, ain't nobody wants to see a Chinese lead, go home, and racial slurs. Like, I think he knew. Like, I honestly got like he's like a not an A-lister. It's like he took a job and got paid. Good for him. You know, but I think he knew. So when they put that script in front of him for this movie, he was probably like, I get it. That's cool. The check's gonna clear, right?
Yeah.
And that's that. Like, I wish him no malice at all. Like, he did not ruin Mortal Kombat the movie. The morons that wrote the character ruined the movie with his character. You know? And I was reading, dude, they were like, people were saying that it was disrespectful to write him out that way and that they felt bad for the actor. I'm like, disrespectful for trapdooring a character that was routinely the #1 fan complaint about your first movie? Like, that's the kind of insight these other franchises wish they had and then had the stones to actually course correct. You know, like, definitively. Like, Shao Kahn smashed his head and then booted him into the Deadpool. Like, it's on the nose, but it's almost like they held up the cue card that said, message received. It's cool. Kitana and Liu Kang are the leads here with Johnny Cage. Like, that's all I want from Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Terminator, and the other 90 things. That. I want that.
Well, first off, with the Cole fight, I know this was a big topic. I mean, you just saw what he did. Like, this was a big character that he just did not like from the first movie. That was his only nitpick, was the main character was pretty lame, but everybody else, and they all understood the assignment.
Power was plot armor. Literal. Literal.
But they did play it a little bit better in this one, and he did a lot better, because in the first one, he got his butt whipped like every match he was in.
Until he got his power, and then he destroyed Goro in a barn.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a bad character. It's just bad. Again, no hate to Louis Tan. None. Zero. Zilch. You know?
And I know a lot of people like Louis Tan, and I have nothing against him. It was just the way that character was written was the issue.
Terrible. Right.
But first off, the fight. So you get like you start glowing. Oh, look, I've been picked, and then you go to a fight, and his fight was with Shao Kahn at the beginning. but the visual was perfect, like it was a video game. The way the camera came down, and there's them two walking across the narrow bridge to fight on Death Lake or Lake of Death or whatever.
The Deadpool.
The Deadpool.
Yep.
Like,
The acid bath.
And then the fight, and like both of them getting their licks in, getting their big shots in, almost like, and I do this a lot, wrestling. They were telling a story there, and you had the big build up, and then you had the break, and then you had the big build up, and then they stopped him, and then the hero finally gets the big hit, and then he's like brushes it off, and and then he brings down the hammer, literally, and it was a skull crushing finale.
Dude, it was gory on the level of South Park in the World of of Cartman in South Park in the World of Warcraft episode when they finally beat the guy that had been trolling them in game. You about to get pwned. Splat. And then he just takes the hammer and brooms Cole's body into the acid. I'm like, okay. There, like I said, message received.
Where's
I wish
Cole?
they all got that.
I don't think he's coming back.
Oh shit. And they even gave, it's not like they forgot about him. Like his friends had their moment, but they had to move on. But look, before we get into like any more plot specifics, let me just break down what surface scratch plot this movie has, because it's not complicated, but there is a story to it. And it's got a couple of things. It's got like a 3-story thing, really. You've got, setting up the whole thing is obviously the tournament. Shao Kahn has challenged Earthrealm. The rules state that if you win 10 tournaments in a row, that realm can absorb the other one and maintain power over it forever. They've won 9 as of the previous movie. This is Earthrealm's last chance to stay free. So that's the overarching backdrop. The two parallel main characters, which is weird, and I wish the movie had stuck to one or the other, because my nitpick of this movie is we divided time and rushed both. Right? You've got Kitana, who, as the Princess of Edenia, grows up as Shao Kahn's surrogate daughter after he defeats her father for control of Edenia, but secretly is working for Raiden. She's kind of like a spy, inside man. She eventually crosses over and fights for Earthrealm, because that's lore accurate to the game. But they kind of never build up sufficiently her feelings towards how Shao Kahn's ruling how he's treating her people. Like it's very straightforward. It's not a whole lot to dig into. And then running against that's the heroic story. Like that's the heroic myth right there. The other half is Johnny Cage, and this is where the movie is at its best, 100%. Karl Urban as aging Johnny Cage, who's like a 90s has-been martial arts actor.
Think Steven Seagal.
Think better than Steven Seagal, because that's always been the lore accurate thing he said in quips in games. He was bigger than Seagal, bigger than Van Damme, right? He's a has-been who gets picked by Raiden to come fight, and they pick him up at a Comic-Con, like a convention. And he's got a booth and nobody gives a shit. It's kind of funny. But they bring him in and he's the fish out of water story. But then they got to rush through all. That was the best. They did it like 4 times. It was funny every time. Every time they did that he did that, the way too young for the movie kids in the audience with their dads fucking laughed hysterically. And that was the best. It honestly was. When he threw the nut punch, these kids laughed for 5 straight minutes, and I almost peed my pants. It was that funny. Listen to these kids. That was definitely our reaction when we were like 12 in the first game. Kind of like, oh my God, he punched him in the nads. Like, that shit's funny. Right? So you get the Cage story running sideways, and it meets at the end, and Kitana does Kitana stuff. So that's the basic story. Kahn becomes functionally immortal. They get a MacGuffin. They get the Amulet of Shinnok. That's from the game. They sucker punch Raiden into charging it up, and it makes Kahn be able to like heal all his wounds. So when Cole almost kills him, he laughs it off, like you said. And then I have to reiterate this: he smashes Cole's head and pushes him into the acid, which was awesome.
That was not the end of the movie, folks. That was not the end of the movie.
No, that was about 15 minutes into the damn thing. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes in, I feel like. So it's basically the heroes have to recover the widget, destroy it. That way they can defeat Kahn physically in Mortal Kombat. See what I did there? I don't know. Give me some thoughts on the movie. I got a couple of highs and lows and talking points. I want it as a fellow super fan of old school games. I just want to know what you think more than anything.
I think as I think this is the era of the video game movie, and they're getting it right. Like they've tried video game movies over the years, and for
Yeah,
some
yeah,
reason it was always bad. I think we are in the era of video game movies, and they're getting it right. Look at Mario. Now we have Mortal Kombat. We have Street Fighter that looks Street Fighter accurate. We have a new Resident Evil that follows kind of what Resident Evil was like the first time you played it. You have,
totally. Yeah,
yeah, you have a lot of movies that are coming out that are accurate to the game because it's probably the fans that are actually
yep.
writing these, and they're moving past the superheroes and they're moving into um, the video game, which they could do a super crossover where you could do Street Fighter versus Capcom. I'm just saying, it's out there.
It's right there. It's right there, dude. They could do MK versus DC. Just saying,
Yeah,
right there,
there.
right there for the taking. I think you're right though on the topic of it's the area of the video game movie for sure, and I think what it is I think the people behind these things are probably fan adjacent at least. Zach Krager doing Resident Evil coming up is definitely a fan of the game if I remember reading the interview right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the studio system is now aware that the only way this particular concept works is if you get it not perfectly canonically accurate, but you can't do the Bob Hoskins Super Mario Brothers movie. You can't do Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You can't do another
Wing
Resident
Commander.
Evil. You can't do Wing Commander like that. You can't do more Resident Evils in the style that Mila Jovovich's movies were, like that over the top ninja heroin guns. But like that stuff that's had its time. Most of it didn't work.
Yep.
Right? I think now they're gonna probably take closer looks at these IPs. This combat movie, I thought looked pretty good. Like I got the difference between Earthrealm, the Netherrealm, Edenia at the beginning. The characters look great. You know, whether Jax with the arms, some of the costumes are pretty solid. Like with Scorpion when he shows up as Hanzo, he gets the more ornamental, non-yellow tabard kind of thing from back in the day. Noob looked pretty good. Noob actually looked really good, in my opinion, when he showed up. Shao Kahn, best Shao Kahn's been in live action ever. Giant, menacing. He had his shoulder dash thing with the green shadow charge twice.
I noticed in that first fight, he's like, he did the shoulder dash.
He did the thing. Yep. He had a bunch of that. So I thought it looked good. I thought tonally, it's exactly what we're going to get from a Mortal Kombat movie. They're always going to layer in some dark humor. They're always going to have some MCU style undercuts, which is good. But I don't feel like it undercut anything major. Like we were saying before, when Cole bought it, it's not like Sonya had a quip about, I guess he wasn't up to it. I guess he lost his head. Like, no, they were like, oh crap, we're boned. We're down a guy. Kano and Johnny Cage, which one was funnier?
Kano, 100%. Dude, the Kano character and the way he portrays him is just perfect. The guy is so funny. He comes off of the stuff. It looks like he comes off of the top of his head with the way he delivers it and stuff like that.
It's got to be half of that has to be improv because I mean he's saying shit like, "Hey, I'll be over here solving the problem. You stay over there continuing to be a cunt." Like it's too fast to not be legit. He had another good one where he was like, "Oh, here's the plan. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna get the amulet. We're gonna get back. Blondie's gonna give me a wristy, and we're out of here." It's too funny.
Or he was like, I liked sunny days. I liked this. I liked drinking beer. I liked Jack and Coke. I like just Jack. I like just Coke.
Dude, that dude had a laundry list of like 10 things in that scene, and the time. It's not just anybody can learn the line. The timing.
Yeah,
was perfect for him. The same thing with Cage. He had about like his was more of a dry rebuttal kind of comedy. Like you would say something to him and they'd be like, how about fucking no? Like in that kind of style of thing, and Karl Urban crashed that party.
I am convinced that Karl Urban can be anybody. Like he could just be anybody.
Yep.
Like you compared to his Johnny Cage, to the character he plays in The Boys, to Judge Dredd, to the weird character he played in the MCU up in Asgard.
Oh, dude, I forgot he was even in that. He was the bad guy, the traitor.
But then he had the short redemption arc with when he grabbed his two M16s and started.
Which was kind of cool for for that kind of. Like, do you have negatives and nitpicks you want to jump into? Because I only have like a couple. Like, do you have anything specific you want to hit on?
The only other thing I really notice is that this thing is really liked a wrestling match, especially that last fight when you have Sonya down and she's doing that slow crawl for the hot tag. I'm like, the hot tag's coming! The hot tag's coming! You have Kintaro like, come on!
Dude, the only thing missing was Kitana tagging in with like the Hulk Hogan, and Shao looking around for help. Like the old villain move. Like that would have been that's too much. But you're right, she sold the crawl for sure.
Yeah. Yep, that slow crawl, like they're down and the other team's down, and then they start doing that slow crawl to get the hot tag in. That's exactly how they set that up. You just want
to see Sonya dive at the last second to actually slap it. I could see that guy. But you're right. They frame a lot of this visually like the video game, where you mentioned that scene between Shao and Cole, where it's like they both appear on screen at the same time facing each other like in a 2D fighting game. And the camera kind of gives you the pan in and then the back.
Yeah.
Every time one of these fights starts, just like in the game, they've got like the round markers that denominate like they're like little light colored diamonds in the sky.
Yeah.
That represent how many fighters each team has left. That's straight out of fighting games. If you're in a tag game, or if you've won a round, it gives you the 1, the 2, the 3, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of visuals like that. I really wanted to see the yellow outfit though. I really wanted to see, because just think about it. Think of how visually that contrast of the yellow and black versus Noob. That would have been fucking, because it was just two guys in black outfits.
Yeah.
You know? And his clone or his shadow.
His shadow.
Like,
he
so
admits
three
with the shadows.
Guys.
I'm not the same as I was the first time we met.
At first, I thought they were doing Noob from MK9, where Noob actually possesses smoke. You remember Smoke?
Yeah, I remember Smoke.
The Gray Ninja?
Yeah, because Smoke came after Reptile.
Right. He's got the gray and black ninja outfit with like the black cowl. And that's what I thought they had for a minute. But I'm like, he didn't do any smoke moves though. So I'm like, no, it's just a shadow clone.
Yeah, just shadow. And that was a really good fight too.
I like
because also you had Johnny Cage and Kano trying to destroy the Amulet during that time, and them two like we got it. Now how do we destroy it? He's like, how am I supposed?
Oh, dude,
to know?
that was hysterical.
He's like, why don't you read the instructions on the back?
Oh yeah. One ring to rule. No, fuck you. It's up there.
One ring to say fuck you. Then I thought he was going to have his Frodo moment there at the end, like falling towards the lava with it, and then started to burn. And then he got his power, the shadow kick. Well, then we have the whole part where they go down, and I think this led to some of the funnier parts of it, where Baraka ends up fighting Johnny Cage after he's challenged by Liu Kang, and then he's like, Hollywood negotiation for you.
Dude, the best part of that scene is Liu Kang does Liu Kang stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I challenge Baraka, master of Clan Tarkata, to single combat, and Baraka's like, no, I decline. I don't care. Like, don't give a shit. So Johnny Cage starts flapping his gums, talking about, all I hear is Tarkata this, Tarkata that. Ain't nobody told me you're all a bunch of giant pussies. And then Baraka, because he's huge, turns around slowly and is like, okay. And Johnny's still talking shit.
This is
all right, I'll fight.
Kang, the best fighter from Earth. And you're going to sit there, and then when all your little whatever you are sitting around
Halloween store monsters. Halloween store junior monsters. He said, so Baraka comes down and he says, oh, I'll fight. And he's got the blade out the arm. He's pointing with the bang.
I choose not you.
Him. I choose you, Johnny Cage.
Like, what are you talking about?
What did I do? And you're trapped for 10 minutes. It was great. They have a nice little fight, a little back and forth. Baraka pounds on him pretty good. Another quick thing they pulled from like the game lore is getting knocked through the stages. Like he gets up out of a building and then down. Kitana did the same thing to him too, where she drove him down through a ceiling into the level. Mortal Kombat's been doing that for ages. So he and Baraka get into it pretty good. He embraces his fighting ability a little bit, and he does some of the same goofy karate moves from the opening movie of Uncaged Fury or Citizen Cage, whatever it was.
No, it was Uncaged Fury. Citizen Cage was the one that he was talking about.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
And both of those come from lore in the game. Like, that's not shit they made up. Like, that's cool stuff from the game. So Cage rolls him into the Bruce Lee arm waving thing and then drops into the nut punch.
Yeah.
And Baraka recovers from it. He goes, that was the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life.
How quick. It was quickness. It was finesse.
Ferocity. Dude, he basically becomes Drax,
Yeah.
right? And that's all I could think that entire time. And as much as I enjoyed it, I do have to put that in the nitpick side of things. Baraka is not that. Baraka is not comic relief. He is savage. He's the fighter you're scared of every game. The
I
only
mean,
thing
but he keeps that side of him. It just, I think
they laid in the Drax. They
did
definitely went Guardians to lighten it.
Yeah. The end scene was pretty good. Maybe I
with him?
yeah, and he's there telling the story around the campfire. He's like, maybe I did take some like 2 or 3 creative liberties. And then he said, is this the woman you saved? And it was like 4 or 5.
Like, they in that Baraka fight with Cage at the beginning, one of the things that annoyed me about it, and I've said this before, I was split on the whole thing, right? Because again, they're adapting some lore from the new games, which is they start functionally as human, as Edenians, but it's a disease that turns them into what we know as Tarkatans from the games. That wasn't always the case. That's just what they were. They were just a race of those things. So they've changed that over the years. But the thing that chapped my ass about that scene is I got to say, why is this shot in daylight? Dude, Outworld that we know that from the games we played back in the day, it's always night. You get the purples and the golds and kind of like that reddish hue. Like it's an uncomfortable place to be. They shot this shit in the middle of like the Gobi Desert with like 47,000 spotlights on. And it was just too bright. Like those are monstrous beings. Have them lurk in shadow. You can light Baraka for the fight. Like you don't have to keep them like completely not with light on. Because I thought the effects were pretty good. Much better than we thought they were going to be, I thought. With the mouth and how the joint would move and his jaw and everything. But I'm like, but because it was a desert themed village that they were in, it was like glaring bright for that entire sequence. It's like, no, this needed to be like nighttime campfires and torches and shit. Would have been better for the effect, I think.
I think it still did great. I'm not a big, it has to be night, for anything.
Shoot the monsters at night.
Yeah.
Shoot the monsters in the night.
Your whole diatribe on that.
Dude, but I will die on that hill, sir.
But that fight was, I like that fight, especially just the end. And he's like, for Johnny fucking Cage.
In the Baraka voice, which made it good. I did like that though. I liked it. There was some good shit in that fight where Baraka starts slinging the bone sparks at him off his arms, like his projectile move. And I'm like, bro,
it's like he's almost cutting it off his arm and
right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, dude, if any one of these hits this guy, he's dead. Like at 10 feet, like a giant bone razor sharp this big, you're dead, homie. That's it. And Cage is doing the backflip, but when he activated himself, he's like, Johnny fucking Cage, backflipping, deflecting this shit. I was like, okay, he's got some hero in him. Well, he can stay. I love that they consulted somebody that knew game. Somebody had some game and knew, because we got a fight in this movie between Sonya and Sindel at the bottom of the pit. That was one of my favorite stages growing up as a kid. We got the Deadpool, awesome stage fatality level. We got Raiden's Sky Temple, which they didn't use the fatality from that. That just involves you getting knocked off and falling for 10 minutes and then splat. But they had all these things lifted straight out of the game for people to go back to different eras of combat. And I appreciated that. I really did.
I would have to say the best one from the game was the first fight of the tournament, which was Kintaro versus Johnny Cage.
Yep.
And he's there, and he's there dead on his feet, just like you are at the end of the game. And then Shao Kahn's like, finish him.
Yeah. And then he's just like, he goes stiff and he literally just falls over.
Yeah, he just falls over. Just like in the game, if you don't do anything, that's just what happens.
Yep. No, that was solid, dude. Good fight choreography for most of them. You can definitely see who's the trained martial artist and who's not, because there's no fight in that movie as good as the Liu Kang Kung Lao fight.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
That was the best fight of the whole movie. Is that fight?
I wish they had more build up with those guys in this movie or in the last movie, because they really wanted to hit that whole Anakin Obi-Wan Revenge of the Sith. We were brothers. I loved you, and then like one of them's been corrupted and resurrected to Revenant status. That didn't hit as hard for me as it could have, because it's been 5 years since the last movie came out, and I forgot Kung Lao died in it in part one. I had to go back and check. So I thought there was something to that was a little lighter than it needed to be, but the fight was awesome. And I don't know how much of the new combat games you've played, so you guys can let us know in the comments.
I haven't played anything since 3.
Okay, so you're missing out on a lot of stuff that they probably reference story wise in this game. Um, Liu Kang dying and ascending, part of one of the games. The
Okay.
amulet that they needed from Shinnok that was going to power up somebody, I think that's out of MK11. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi conspiring to, they hinted, they put him in the same frame at the same time. That's the Deadly Alliance. That was like the what era was that? That was like, is that original Xbox era? I don't remember when that was. But there were a lot of callbacks to old games. Kung Lao coming back as a Revenant is a giant part.
I knew
some
that
of the new
one was.
So they're really pulling from all of like a hodgepodge of all their modern games, which is kind of cool because that does open the door for you guys who maybe don't know combat like that to see some characters and some takes on things that you haven't seen before. And it won't be one for the games, but you're going to get a look at it, which is cool.
I did like the Kung Lao bringing in the fire dragons. That was his finisher in one of them. Liu Kang. Liu Kang did that at the end, which was dope. Yep. And Shao Kahn tanked that like it was nothing. Yeah.
That was awesome. I was like, oh.
Instant healing, so.
Yeah. Even to that level of badassery. Now, one of the things that I got to nitpick a little, and it was kind of confirmed a little bit that it annoyed me when I actually got to hear the whole thing on the second run through of the movie, is what Raiden whispered to Liu Kang before the final battle. In the in the jacked up version of the movie, I thought Liu Kang's response to being run through by Shao's hammer was, "This death isn't yours. My journey doesn't end here. My path is on another plane," or something like that, right? Which ties into one of the games. Like, he ascends and becomes an elder god. He becomes the god of fire and thunder. He replaces Raiden in like the current timeline of the game. So I was like, okay, so he died. So, okay, cool, whatever. That's fine. The actual cut of that is Raiden tells him he's not the chosen one. It's Katana, and you got to go save Kung Lao or some shit. That doesn't sit right with me, and I can't imagine that's going to sit right with a lot of other longtime fans. Liu Kang is the chosen one of this franchise. You absolutely cannot subvert him long term for any reason, or people are going to get pissed. And I get that they set this movie up to be her movie. I want to be clear. They set it up from the beginning. This was the revenge tale, but they could have skipped that whole little bit about how I'm not the chosen one and still pulled off that story, and it would have been fine.
So what I think they did there is because they want Liu Kang in the next movie.
100%. He's going to ascend.
So they had to explain why he wasn't getting the win, since he was the best fighter from Earth.
Yep. But all you have to say is, Lord Raiden told me this fight wasn't my path, and then burn into fire and ascend to the heaven. All that bit about how he told me I'm not the chosen one, didn't need it. Dude, we're still not far enough away from the girl boss phase of 2020 to get away with that line.
I think it does, because the normies wouldn't understand that.
You don't think people getting told, if you're a normie, you don't know who he is anyway. So you just see him say, "This isn't my battle."
But the way you see him ascend and everything like that, and he's explaining that this isn't mine. Remember, they have to write down. They write down. They don't write up.
It's not worth it in this kind of niche thing where it's not going to make as much sense to a normie as it would. It's not going to do any more damage not explaining it to them than it is going to be to piss off core fans. That's my take on that.
I don't think they could have just dropped that one part, because I don't think it plays into the girl boss either, because that was an earned fight, earned victory.
It really was. Oh, dude, 100. I want to be very clear about that. Dude, Katana, we said this last week, one of my favorites growing up, always partnered with Liu Kang. Dude, they're basically fucking the Arthur and Guinevere of that world. Like, they're a power couple in that game, in that setting, but they're always portrayed as equals. But Liu Kang was always the chosen one, and she was always the princess or the queen. Always. There's never been a version of that where it was reversed outside of the arcade endings individually. The overlying story of the game is always Liu Kang. So I think that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but it is earned, like you said. The whole they tried to repeat the first movie, where it's the 5-10 minutes of this happened first, fast forward, this time it's only like 20 years instead of like 1,000 years. But they did that with the death of Katana's father, the king, who lost the 10th. That was a great fight too. That shit was brutal.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was a straight brutal fight.
Good brawl. So I didn't mind
Her
it
dad
either. I
had
thought that
some
was great.
skills.
Dude, I mean, he was seconds away from finishing the job, and dude blocked the broken sword strike with his hand
into his arm and then put it
into his
through.
arm, which was savage.
Yeah.
That was some savage shit. But dude, but that's combat. Like that's how that works. All those, dude, all the fights are brutal. Sindel in the bottom of the pit with Sonya, her death was top shelf. Kung Lao's death, pretty banging. Jax, dude, surprise death there.
Yeah.
Wasn't seeing that coming. But again, it makes sense because one of my other nitpicks that I had here was they have Jax and Sonya because they're like the only other humans that can be there, but they didn't have a whole lot to do. Like they don't have a Sub-Zero now. They don't have a main Scorpion. They already hit all the other mains. They're gonna if they brought in more obscure characters, I think it's like you said, you're gonna just confuse the normies. Who is this rando dude named Reiko? Who's Rain? You know what I mean? Who's Ashra? You probably don't know Ashra. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You've been around in like 8 games. It's tough, but they didn't really have much to do outside of get the tournament going from part 1.
Yeah, and now that the tournament's over, now it's the
right.
invasion where they just kind of invade and then it becomes the fighting part. So they
disobey
the elder gods.
Right. And that's where the game stories have gone, I think, since Armageddon. After they did Armageddon, they reset, not the crappy movie Annihilation. There was a game, Mortal Kombat Armageddon. That kind of reset what was happening, and it was still characters from different realms, but the formal tournament wasn't the thing after that.
Yeah, it was more of the story-based fighting. Yeah. Which
because they added single player games at that point, like big campaigns to the game. You know, they added more elder gods. Lately they've added a group of characters called the Titans, which were the gods before the elder gods, and there's a couple of them that are in play. I think they scrubbed that after 11 though. But there's a lot they can do. It's a colorful world, dude. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of characters they can pull through. There's a lot of storytelling potential that they can throw into future movies.
We'll see. I do think they have one more movie in them before it will be. Why are they doing another movie type feel? Like they got one more, kind of wrap this up in a trilogy, and then let it sit on the shelf for like another 10 years, and then bring it back. And then they could use some of those obscure characters as everything kind of restarts.
Oh, 100%. They could absolutely throw down a third movie that resolves the Liu Kang thing. That resolves, like you're going to put Raiden against Shinnok because he'll recover the amulet, that the elder god that lost that amulet they were looking for. That's the power behind Quan Chi. Oh, that was one of my other nitpicks, dude. Quan Chi is a pansy in this movie. Like Kano called him Voldemort's wrinkled nutsack, and the theater erupted. That might have been the best burn I've ever heard in a movie.
There was a lot of pop references in this.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Like Johnny Cage had a whole bunch of them, and then Kano was just great. Kano stole the show with his limited screen time.
Again, but see, he's a weird character here. He plays this completely for the good guys within minutes of being resurrected.
Yeah,
like he's completely on board. They already had him do the screw job in the first movie, so is he like a double secret? Triple agent?
He works for himself.
What's happening? Right.
He works for himself.
Chaotic evil? Is that the proper alignment?
He's here to watch the world burn. He does whatever benefits Kano. It's not really what benefits the side. He's there what benefits Kano.
True.
Or he's the guy who sits back and waits to see which side's winning and then join
and then jump in. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. So yeah, dude, I would give this a full recommendation to go see. You don't need to be a super fan like we are to enjoy this movie. I think the King had it right. You don't need to get the $40 popcorn bucket. Just go grab a cold one, sit down, watch the movie, enjoy some decent fight scenes. Don't worry about trying to pick out Easter eggs that you might have seen in the top 15 Easter eggs. Like, don't worry about it. You're not gonna know whether or not that's a game accurate Jade or not. It's not. But there's nothing here that annoyed me outside of that one line at the end, but it's quickly overlooked because the story set Kitana up to be the victor anyway. You know, there's really nothing to get pissy about over message wise in the movie. If you're one of the people that really is mad that they did Cole the way they did Cole, I don't know what to tell you, dude. You're a vocal minority at best on that front. The rest of us are happy, of course, corrected as significantly, as definitively as it did. Dude, I'd give this a solid 8 for my money. That's probably glazing it a point or two more than it needed to be for a Mortal Kombat movie. But when I could hear it in the second showing, I had a blast. I thought it was funnier than it had any right to be. It didn't really ever pull on any kind of heartstrings at all, which Mortal Kombat probably isn't going to do that.
It's not built to do that.
The first movie did a little bit with Scorpion and his family, like, but that was intentional. Like the tone of that entire segment was its own movie.
The whole opening, that was so good. That was so good.
And they wanted that to be the case so bad with Katana and her dad. They had the same sappy score. The power isn't a close fist. It's here and here. They were going for it. They left it all on the table. They really did.
Yeah, it just didn't hit as well.
No, because the revenge that's John Wick in feudal Japan thing, the Scorpion story.
You know I mean? and there was a John Wick. They don't want to see that anymore. They want to see John Wick. They want to see Keanu Reeves kill 1,000 people with a pencil.
With a fucking pencil, he said. He did the thing. It was so good, dude. He had I gotta say it. He had a couple of good burns when Sonya and Raiden show up to recruit him to come into the tournament. He goes, "Hey guys, I'm off the clock. Nice cosplay. I think it's time for you guys to fuck off." It was nonstop.
You look good. Was it Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, dude, that's what he said. Theater went crazy for that one too. That was a good one.
And if you don't know, go check our review out for Big Trouble in Little China. Maybe we dropped the same type of thing.
I think we did. Did you notice the Ed Boon cameo? The creator of Mortal Kombat. He had a cameo. He pulled his skin. He was the bartender.
Oh.
When Johnny Cage was out getting liquored up. I don't think he had any good lines. I was expecting one good line. Like, if he had thrown out a toasty, even though he's not the one that says it in the game, that would have been all right. I've been okay with him saying that.
He said you're not as animated. You're not as animated as you usually are, Johnny Cage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He did say that. He did have a line. That was good. I had a blast. And I tell you to go see it. I give it an 8. What do you think? Where are you at?
I would put it in the 7. It's a summer popcorn movie. Go watch it, enjoy it. Don't have to think too hard about it.
Yep, I think that's the best. That's the best this movie was going to get. I'll be interested to see because it's still too early to sell. It's Saturday while we're recording this now. What the box office is going to be, I think it'll do pretty good. Remember, the first one did pretty good, and it was released in the COVID era of day and date, so it came on HBO Max the same day
and
as
Netflix.
It was in theaters. Was it on? It was in 3 places.
It was in 3 places,
dude, and it still made bank. Like it did okay. So I wonder how it's going to do now. Like a part 2. It's 5 years later. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people were pissed. I was pissed when it didn't release last October when it was supposed to. So we'll see. We'll see how it does this weekend. But that's going to do it for us, guys. That's King Z. I'm Winter Wolf. Let us know in the comments below, Combat fans, what you thought of the movie. Did you want more of the lore? Were you good with what you got? What did you think of the fights, the blood, the gore, the whole thing? And we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Get over here!